Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Healthy Living event sponsored by the Juice Plus community. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Carol Turnbow. I'm a senior sales coordinator with the Juice Plus company. I am also a wife. I'm a mom. I'm a mama. I'm a CrossFit coach. I'm a CrossFit Masters athlete, but my passion is nutrition and teaching people that food really does heal the body. Tonight, you're going to be hearing from myself and some of my teammates. We've all joined on a mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And I'm going to start tonight by introducing our product line. Our product line is simple and will remain simple because it's food. It's food that our body needs on a daily basis. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Amazing concept. So I'm going to start by showing you our tri-pack. The purple, the green, and the red capsules here are 100% plant-based all the way down to the capsule, better than organic, non-GMO, picked at the peak of ripeness with an NSF seal of approval. And what that means that what is in the product is on the label. So this label, the red label, for instance, it's kind of hard to see, but I'm going to read it to you. The ingredients here are apples, peaches, cranberry, orange, papaya, cherry, pineapple, prune, date, and beet. My favorite part of our label is that it carries the nutrition label. Okay, it's food in a capsule, just like I said. Juice Plus has figured out how to put fruits and vegetables in a capsule. Only food can carry a nutrition label. We also have our orange bottle product here is our full spectrum of plant-based omegas. This is also completely vegan all the way down to the capsule. Juice Plus has cut out the middleman, which is the fish. We all know that we can go get our omega-3s from fish. Well, fish eat algae to get their omega from. So we went straight to the algae, cut out the fish. So we have our vegan blend of omegas from algae oil, pomegranate seed oil, tomato seed oil, and more oils in there as well. We also have our complete protein powder in chocolate and vanilla. I cannot go a day without these. I literally crave them. First thing in the morning, I drink a shake, take all my capsules, and it's just the best way to start your day. We also have what is called a tower garden. It's an aeroponic growing system. Right now, I'm in Indiana. Mine's out in my backyard because it's nice and sunny, but in the winter, I can also haul that in the house, put on some LED lights, and grow my own vegetables or herbs right in my, I grew it actually in my front hallway this past winter, which was amazing. I love my tower garden. So tonight we have a great lineup of speakers. Stephanie Taylor is an international marketing director with the Juice Plus company, has brought her team along with her tonight to share some stories about Juice Plus products, their business stories, and just every reason why they love Juice Plus. So Stephanie, welcome.
Thank you, Carol. So appreciate it. Thank you, everybody, for hopping on and spending a little bit of your Thursday evening with us. We really appreciate your time. And I'm honored to get to share this call with some of my amazing teammates that I get the honor of working with every single day. So I'm going to toss it over to Cassidy, and she's going to get us started.
Sure. Thanks, Steph. Hey, you guys, I'm so overjoyed to be able to share with you tonight and get the opportunity to kind of share our story about how one simple change and one yes has changed my life and my family's life for the better in so many ways. I don't know about you. I've always been the kind of person who wanted to eat more vegetables. I always make sure that I've got vegetables at every meal. And I always kind of felt like I had it all together. Good nutrition has kind of been at the top of my priority list. But even with that, there was a sense of, because our bodies kind of leave clues. There was a sense that we weren't quite as healthy as we wanted to be. But about 3 years ago, our life turned absolutely upside down when my husband found himself in the middle of a health crisis. We really exhausted every traditional medicinal thing we could do, saw all the specialists. We tried every solution that we thought was out there and just kept running up against, in dead ends. My husband actually also wasn't able to be his normal plugged in self for our family. And I actually also started to be worried about our own financial future, thinking like, what if he wasn't going to be able to return to work in a normal way? And so I turned to my good friend, Steph, and I'd been watching her Juice Plus journey for about a decade. And she told me that Juice Plus is just fruits, veggies, berries in capsules and gummies. And she also told me a little bit about the scientific research that went that shows kind of what they do in our bodies. And I knew that more produce certainly couldn't hurt anything. So why don't we maybe give it a try? And if nothing else, maybe it gave me a little bit of hope that that might be a solution for us, might be helpful for us. So I said yes to try Juice Plus for our family. And I knew that, if Juice Plus made sense to me, that it would probably be something I would find myself sharing with other people. So I said yes to joining the business and partnering with the Juice Plus company there this very same day. And you know what? We started to see some amazing things in our health. After we started eating our Juice Plus, we started noticing that my husband's chronic issues slowly started to dissipate and lessen. And actually we found that they're just gone. That's 3 years ago. And it's been a miraculous thing for our family. But, health isn't always just this big, gigantic miracle, right? It's small blessings too. We started to notice other really neat changes, like my allergy kid that, used to have nasty allergies a couple times a year. She sails through allergy season with no problem. My energy levels are now consistent, no afternoon kind of dump of energy. No more cyclical migraines. My hair and nails have never been stronger. And our family's physical health is now something that it just gives me peace of mind. And I have a hope for our future because of one simple change, adding Juice Plus to our routine. And that one simple yes of partnering with the company has allowed it for a sense of hope and peace for our future and gives our family some options that we just didn't know that were possible before. And so it spurs me on to share our story with others because I know that this gift that I've been given, the Juice Plus business and the products, can help other people have the same kind of sense of hope for their lives. So it's been such a joy for me to be able to experience that for the last 3 years. And I'm so excited to share that with you guys tonight. And I know that my friend Benita also wants to share her story with you. So Benita, you ready?
I'm always ready to share. Thank you, Cassidy, for being real about your story. I wanted to get on tonight and share a ton of funny jokes about vegetables, but they're all really corny. So I'm going to share my own personal story. And it started like so many others. My mom raised us really well, and she put nutrition in the forefront of all of our life. And I got to be a mom myself, and somebody came along and introduced Juice Plus to me for my 4th pregnancy. By this time, I was already eating vegan. I was eating like 14, 19 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So I didn't think I needed to add it. But there was one thing that I had failed to recognize, is that I trusted that all of the fruit and vegetables that I was eating on a regular basis were as nutritious as my mom had, as my grandmother had. And I didn't realize how much nutritional value had been stripped out of all of that until our family suffered a major tragedy. And when we had a turning point in our lives that really forced us to let go of our healthy habits and move into a fast-paced lifestyle where we were picking up, McDonald's on one night and Burger King and pizza and Costco. And it was a constant influx of all of this food that we had really never experienced before. We started to really understand we were not healing from this tragic event. That event was all of us were in a car when we were hit by a garbage truck, and we were not thriving. And it took a friend to approach me and say, "Hey, remember that product Juice Plus? I'm coming into town for an event. Would you like to join me?" And I was hesitant at first, and I said yes. And I showed up and was introduced to some of the best pediatricians in the world, some of the best emergency room doctors, some of the best nurses that I could relate to personally on a professional level. And they spoke into my life about the nutrition that I had been missing out on, that I thought I was getting well before. Now I wasn't getting any. But what I really needed was concentrated nutrition on a daily basis to ensure that our family could recover from what we had suffered. And so no matter what that event is in your life, we all seem to have them where we're going on the right path and something just stops us in our tracks. And we lose not only the trust in what we were doing, but we also open our eyes to what we were trusting before that is no longer true or valid or making up what we were lacking. And so we started taking Juice Plus, and for 3 years now, we have not gone a day without it. We traveled from Chandler, Arizona, all the way to Florida, up to Northern Kentucky, and back to Chandler this summer in 6 weeks, and not one of us experienced a day of illness. And that is why I love the Juice Plus company, because we take the I out of the illness, we put the we of partnership back in, and we get wellness. So thank you for being here tonight and trusting us with your time. I'm going to pass it over to my friend Janna to share her story next.
Okay, thank you, Benita. Good to see you guys tonight. Well, thanks so much for just hopping on and taking a listen. And I'm going to share a little bit about my Juice Plus story with you guys. So my family and I had taken the products for about 3 to 4 years before we actually decided to really make a commitment and say yes to never missing a day and saying yes to the business. So during that time, my young daughters went from taking allergy medicine morning and night year round to no longer needing allergy medicine, which was a huge win. Their digestion majorly improved, which was life-changing for us. No more Miralax. And our sick days for our really busy family went way down. And so my dear friend Stephanie, who you guys will get to hear from later, who's my sponsor, had graciously shared this amazing business opportunity with me multiple times over those 3 to 4 years. And I was not as quick or smart as hopefully you guys are, and said no, until I felt like I had to say yes for us to stay on the product. We were so excited and thrilled because we were pregnant with baby number 3, but we were also in a situation where my husband lost his job, and he was our main provider financially. So I said yes, and I'm so glad that I did. During that time, it went from not only covering the product, which was so important to me because I wanted it as my prenatal, I wanted the best for my baby, and I wanted my girls to stay healthy. Went from covering that, but then also allowing us to not have to put basics like gas and groceries on a credit card, which was huge, to now 5 years later, we've way surpassed covering our product, and now we're almost covering our mortgage, which then and now was a huge thing for our family. So I always like when I share my Juice Plus story to say it's helped our family stay physically healthy, but also fiscally healthy, which a lot of times go hand in hand. So I know the impact it made on us in our day-to-day health and our fiscal health, and that's why I'm motivated to share with others. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I'm going to hand it over to my friend Janae.
Thanks, Janna. Hey, everybody. Hey, thanks for having me. So my story starts with a stubborn gal and a skeptical husband. I had first heard about Juice Plus from a couple of friends. Stephanie, who's on this call tonight, was one of them. And I had followed their posts on social media for about 4 years and slowly learned the importance and value of it on my own before jumping in and saying yes to both the product and the business. And I did both of them in the same day. That didn't come without having to also convince my skeptical husband at the time, I stress at the time, that I wanted this product for us and I could do this business even if my first goal was to just break even. So I knew we needed Juice Plus because we had gaps, especially my firstborn, who was a super picky eater. He's not so much anymore. And I also knew that we needed to take action with their health sooner than later, to teach them healthier habits at a young age and to just set them up for a better future. My children don't really have grandmothers. My mother-in-law passed away from ovarian cancer before they were born. And my mother has chosen her entire life to make poor dietary choices, which has now led to a 61-year-old woman who can barely take care of herself, can barely work, and certainly can't afford to even make a trip down from Indiana to Texas. And that's heartbreaking to me. The only grandmother that they have, she's not present. And so this is my why. This is why I do what I do for the future, for my future, for their future. I want to be a present grandparent for my children's children. I want them to be a present for their children's children. And I want them to be able to pass these healthy habits down to their kids so that they can one day say in our family line years from now that maybe they don't even know the words cancer or obesity. What started out as a simple side gig has turned into a passion for helping others have healthier futures. My business has meant that we have been able to say yes to more, including buying our forever home. That's something that we wouldn't have been able to do until several years down the road if we didn't have this extra revenue stream. So tonight I will just leave you with this: meet people where they are, continue to love on them over time. Some people just need to go for these types of opportunities on their own terms by silently watching on the sidelines, and they'll be grateful that you never gave up on them. I know that I am definitely one of those people. So thank you for your time this evening and allowing me to share my story. I will pass it off to Stephanie Taylor, who will share a little bit as well.
Thank you, Janae. Well, it's just such an honor to get to work with these ladies. I mean, I think you guys can see these are some pretty incredible women. And so I'm just going to kind of put a bow on it. I'm going to share a little bit about my Juice Plus story, but I think the resonating theme that we kind of hear all the way through is really one of hope. And that's our team name is Team Hope. And you know what? I think that I know for myself, what I've experienced in over 10 years of eating Juice Plus, over 9 years in the business, I've really discovered that everybody has kind of a little rain cloud over their head. Maybe it's death, maybe it's illness, maybe it's finances, maybe it's family. You never know what it might be. I know for myself, I lost my mom to cancer when I was 19 and never met her mom. And, we could go through lots of, we don't want to be too depressing here, but it was a catalyst for me I kind of thought, I guess at 52, I'm going, this is it. And I've calculated the ages of my kids and how old they're going to be and what is it going to be like. And then it was a Juice Plus event that I was at. And I heard Dr. Phillips talk about this beautiful word, epigenetics. I'd never heard it before in my life. And really understanding the power behind the choices that we make. And it just brought me this fresh breath of hope that, you know what, I can make a change in our family's future. And much like Janae was saying, I strive to annoy my kids and my husband for as long as possible and to be able to meet grandbabies and all of those things. And before I don't really think I genuinely felt like that was something that could happen. And now through just Juice Plus, I do. And I find that with the product side, I'm able, when I share this with people, to say, what's your cloud? We all have one. And let's just talk about it, and it opens the door to conversations that I would have never been able to have before. And the business side, I entered into it just wanting to break even. My upline, Beth Leopold, can tell you I was not a joy nor a delight to work with. I was pretty belligerent. I was like, I'm not getting on phone calls. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm never doing this business. So if you do come across people, or even if you are one of those people, just know sometimes this community just loves you so hard, you can't help but love everybody back. But the business side, what I really love about it is that I feel like it really opens the door to people being able to start living in the choose to instead of the have to of life. And I feel like a lot of us are raised in the have to. These are things you have to do. There's certain, you go to school, you do this. It's just this kind of like, we all get on the same exact track. And I love to be able to kind of share with people, and even with our own family and the verbiage I use with our children, what would you like to do? Let's follow your passion, because we've got one life. You only die once, but you live every day if you choose to. So are you living to your fullest? And I truly believe that the Juice Plus products and the Juice Plus business have provided a sense of hope for us. And that's why I choose to share it with anybody who'll give me 5 seconds, is really just because somebody took the time to share it with me. And far be it for me to not be at least a person that plants a seed. I might not have ever see it come to fruition, but I would really rather somebody come back to me and say, I'm ready to chat about that now, than to come back to me and say, why didn't you tell me? And so that's really our driving factor. I really appreciate, Carol, you allowing us to step into this and have some time with you all tonight. Clearly, we are passionate about what we do, and thank you for coming onto this call. And whomever invited you to it, if you're not already a part of our community, get with them and ask them questions because they would love to share with you. So I'll toss it back to you, Carol. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming. I just want to share that, you know, we all hear about the products and what they've done. And we've also partnered with a company that just has a very generous heart, a very generous compensation plan. And I want to go over quickly that for $52 a year, we get the benefit of working with this company, not for this company. And to me, that was huge. The company ships the products, it collects the money, it allows me the freedom to use the franchise as I choose. I could use it as a discount on my product, like a lot of people started, right? Like I would just to get a little bit of money off on their product. I could use it as a small side income. We could build it up to make it your only source of income. So, you know, get back with the person who invited you tonight. Talk to them about the products, about the amazing Juice Plus company. And we are here every Thursday night sharing stories and celebrating our Juice Plus business and products. Thank you guys. Good night.